Hey everyone, my name is Tommy and welcome to the very first video I'm doing for what I'm calling Tommy's Hobby Channel. A little bit about what I'll be doing. I'm a lifelong sports fan who as a kid did quite a bit of sports card collecting. However, when I grew older, got into different hobbies, did other things, and very recently decided to start giving collecting another shot. So I thought I'd make a couple videos and just kind of document how things go along the way. Today is the 4th of July, 2020, and there was a sale going on at my local card shop that I've stopped by a couple times already, just trying to get a feel for what's going on out there. I've been kind of reading up on the hobby the last couple months. Learning about all the things that have changed since I last collected. It's been about 15 years since I really was interested in collecting cards. So I know that Legacy is a relatively cheap product that is fun to rip. I've watched some people do it and I've just kind of like the general layout. I figured it'd be a good thing to practice with recording wise. I've got a couple of bigger things planned here coming up, but I do need to get some recording experience, so I figured why not start here. So yeah, I got 2 boxes of Legacy Hobby and we are going to just dive right in. As I unpack box number 1, kind of get more into my plans collecting. So like I said, lifelong sports fan. I am down here in San Antonio, Texas, so I've been a Spurs fan, and oddly enough, I am a lifelong Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I am 28 years old, about to turn 29, and have pretty much been a sports fan since I was about 6. 1997 was a pretty cool year for the Spurs, drafted Tim Duncan. And when I was a kid, I was also just a big fan of pirates. And so when you see a team that's got a pirate logo, and more importantly, a pirate ship in their stadium, I was just kind of hooked instantly. It was also the beginning of that pretty sweet defense that would lead to a Super Bowl championship. Nothing better than watching your favorite team win a Super Bowl as a kid. And oddly enough, it was shortly after that Super Bowl win and things going downhill for the Buccaneers that I stopped collecting. And that's one thing that's kind of been interesting on coming back to hobby after 15 years is, at least in terms of the Buccaneers, this is kind of a thick pack. I haven't really missed out too much on collecting anything. Mike Evans would be somebody I'd like to get in to start collecting personally. But other than that, things have been kind of bleak for my Bucks. But of course, with Tom Brady coming into the fold this offseason, we'll see how it goes. I don't have any really high expectations for the team. I've learned to come into every season with pretty low expectations. That way I don't get too disappointed. But Tom Brady is obviously a very good quarterback, and I do like Bruce Arians' system. I didn't think it was well executed last year in terms of the running game, but hey, when you're throwing 30 interceptions and your defense is constantly on the field, it's tough to win anything. So anyway, we're almost done unpacking this first box, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little more background on who I am as a fan, and kind of what I'll be looking to collect. But in terms of this product, I kind of like the fact that Legacy kind of went along the baseball card route in terms of including stuff like mini cards and even rip cards. Man, it'd be really cool if we found a rip card, but I also just think in terms of, buying product, it's a relatively cheap thing. It'd be great to do with kids. It's a good kind of kid set. Includes obviously players from today, but I also like the fact that a lot of sets today are including older players, guys that don't play anymore. I don't think that was something that was really prevalent when I was a kid collecting. Again, I stopped collecting in about 2004. And I know they made sets back then that did have older players, but it wasn't something that was included in most normal sets. To be honest, I just think nowadays companies are looking for big base sets, including more cards, including more stock in order to kind of spread everything around. Man, it has been crazy reading up on how the hobby has changed and become more popular recently, especially basketball. Basketball prices are insane. I would like to rip some basketball, but it's one of those things. We will be doing this kind of as my finances allow it, but again, when it comes to basketball, I'm a lifelong Spurs fan. I do like watching guys like Ja and Zion play. However, in terms of ripping boxes to collect, who wouldn't want to hit one of those? But it's just not something I'm going to go out and pursue right now. However, for content's sake, hopefully we'll be able to get to a point where we can go get ourselves some high-end product and just have fun ripping it. Because really that's what this hobby channel is going to be about, just ripping and having fun. I'm primarily doing this just to collect. However, if anybody ever sees anything I pull that they would like, I would always be willing to sell it or trade it. As a matter of fact, I'm starting a Twitter page for this hobby channel as well, and you can go follow it at Tommy's Hobby Channel. That's actually Tommy's Hobby CHNL. That is where I'll be kind of communicating with people on social media. Alrighty, let's get started. So hopefully I will not pick up something where there's an auto. So we're just kind of gonna fly through some of the normal base guys, stop on things like this Henry Ruggs. 5 of 10, that's pretty sweet. 5 of 10, is that an autograph? That is an autograph. Wow, look at that, man. We're like, that's our 4th card on our first break, and that is pretty sweet, man. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember where a lot of guys got drafted. I'm not the biggest college football guy. I usually start tuning in and reading up on guys right before the draft. I do watch the draft every year. It's something I do love doing. However, I just don't remember where guys get started. I usually really learn that stuff right before fantasy football starts. But yeah, Henry Ruggs the 3rd out of 10. That is sweet. That only took me a couple of minutes to get to. Get my social media out the way and just let him bask in all of his glory back there as we get back into that. Tom Brady record books, that's kind of cool. Obviously, he's my quarterback. Barry Sanders, love Barry Sanders. He might be the best. Oh, hey, man, Tyler Johnson. I was going to say Barry Sanders is the best player I ever played with on Madden. He was incredible. He's like a cheat code. But Tyler Johnson rookie card. Tampa Bay Bucks, welcome to the club, dude. T. Higgins, there we go. Tre'Davious White. I love a good football name. Tre'Davious White is one of them. What is this? Tyler Higbee, Rams, out of 199, 28. Pretty sweet. Barkevious Mingo is my favorite football name of all time. Chase Claypool, rookie. Jonathan Taylor, rookie. TJ Hawkinson, Iowa Hawkeye. Again, I really don't follow too much college football, but, I do try to follow along at highlights, learn some of the guys before I know they get to the league. And that's a nice rookie. Kennedy McCoy. Not numbered, just pretty sweet. I'm going to put that in there. Try to get some of these guys right side up. Russell Wilson, John Elway. Harrison Bryant, rookie card. Derek Brown, rookie card. Jameis Winston, now of the Saints. Man, what a roller coaster of emotions it was watching Jameis Winston play football last year for my Buccaneers. I forget who said it, but they said it best. Jameis Winston is one of the only quarterbacks you've ever seen who could both win and lose a football game in one possession. It's just incredible, the absolute roller coaster. He's not a bad quarterback. He just makes some pretty terrible decisions sometimes. Lots of turnovers. Can't win games when you make that many turnovers. Here's our first mini card. Oh, man, John Riggins, sweet. Is this numbered? Out of 50. 6 out of 50. Sweet little John Riggins. These minis are awesome. I really like these minis, as I said earlier. John Riggins, obviously a Hall of Famer. Fan favorites, another Tom Brady. He is my new favorite. Got to admit, have not been the biggest Tom Brady or Patriots fan over the past decade. But I must respect the body of work they have put in. Obviously, 6 Super Bowls is 6 Super Bowls. And now he is my quarterback. So I am a big fan now. I hope he does well. Get this filler card out of there. Some more Tom Brady. Speak of the devil. Andre Johnson, loved watching him. Houston is just down the road. Probably the closest team. Houston's about 3 hours away. Dallas is just under 5. So I'm not a very big Dallas Cowboys fan. I respect their roster. I'm just not the biggest Jerry Jones guy. Jerry Jeudy, I believe he went to the Broncos. He should have a pretty good year. Denzel Mims. Zeke Elliott. Bryson Williams. Looks like we might have some color back there and a couple. Gardner Minshew. I did enjoy Minshew Mania last year. That was fun, especially for some fantasy football. He was a great waiver pickup if you needed a quarterback. DJ Metcalf, also like watching him. Chase Claypool out of 10. Man, we got 2 out of 10s in the same box. This is not an auto, but 9 out of 10. Still a pretty sweet pull out of 10. Who doesn't love short print? John Riggins, again, bigger one. You know, I am a pretty big stickler for being able to pronounce names correctly. I would love to give it a shot, but I really don't like it. I find it almost disrespectful when you can't pronounce a guy's name correctly, but this is a name I'm going to have to look up and learn. That's a cool football name. We're talking about 11 football names earlier, but I'm going to put that actually kind of just aside separately so I can do that research after we're done here. Chris Godwin. Man, Chris Godwin has been a lone light spot in the darkness for the Buccaneers here the past couple of years. You know, our receiving core is actually pretty stacked. I do think they're extremely talented, and I obviously think Tom Brady will have plenty of options coming up here. Trying to pick a spot that doesn't seem like it's got something cool to stare at, so we will pick that base Aaron Rodgers. Josh Jacobs under lights. These aren't numbered, but I do kind of like the prism aspect. Josh Jacobs, another good player. Enjoy watching. That's another thing. You know, I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, but really I also enjoy playing fantasy football a lot. I've got a league I do with my friends every year. So I just try to lock on to guys. And as a matter of fact, I really started playing fantasy football towards the end of when I was collecting cards. But, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, I used football cards to pretty much keep up with guys and transactions and where they went as opposed to the internet. But I've played fantasy football for a long time, since I was a kid. As a matter of fact, the first time I played fantasy football, Keyshawn Vaughn, he a buck. Welcome to the club, sir. I almost feel like here I'm gonna once I get through these stacks, I'm gonna penny sleeve some of these guys. Justin Herbert, out of 50. That's a pretty nice card. That's a thick boy. Oh, it's a tear card. Yeah, sorry, I was holding that off camera, but this is a Dare to Tear card. I cannot believe we actually got one in this first rip. Man, what a great box for a first rip on my initial voyage here into just collecting and picking. Man, we are going to rip this bad boy right at the end of this break. I cannot believe we got one, man. Wow, this is cool. This is so cool. Man, this is why I'm come back to collecting. You know, I am 28 years old, almost 29. Stopped collecting when I was like 13, but I have not had this much fun doing something this benign in absolute years. Here, I'm going to step aside real quick, get another, as I knocked over my water bottle. Sorry about that. I am kind of limited into the amount of materials I have. I've got a couple of card holders, though, and those are two pretty card holder worthy as if I've ever seen one. So we are going to kind of keep going, get through the rest of this box. Aaron Rodgers. But, wow, yeah, man, I was really hoping to get a tear card. I did not think I would get one in the first 2 boxes I purchased. I was in a break room last night with people chatting on YouTube. Mikey B Breaks, by the way. He's a really great breaker. You know, I haven't been around too much. I've found pretty much one guy I've broken with now, 150 points. But you know what? In this box, with an auto and a rip card, I'm not too mad about getting these points. We'll stick those to the side and do it later. Anyway, yeah, shout out to Mikey B. He's been really cool. He's been fun to follow. I would suggest looking him up on Twitter and YouTube. This is a Tre'Davious White out of 100. We love his name, so we'll stick him in there. But, as I was saying, yeah, I've seen a couple of rip cards get pulled, but I haven't actually watched one get ripped yet, so I'm really excited that we're getting going kind of a first shot, kind of a new guy mojo type of deal, as Mikey B would say. But CD Lamb, that's a nice kind of refresh. Okay, that is out of 50. Man, we are getting some pretty short print cards here today. Matter of fact, I am going to kind of pause and start pennies, leaving these bad boys up. Wish I had one sleeve to put the mini in. It's kind of hard to do that. So we got, I think, 2 out of 10s. Well, here, we'll go along the line. We've got the Henry Ruggs out of 10. The Rip card, which is out of 50. CD Lamb out of 50. Tre'Davious White out of 100. We'll get those bucks. We don't need to do those right now. Chase Claypool out of 10. So that's 2 out of 10s in this first box. Again, guys, I don't think I'm doing a very good job of getting some of this on camera here. I'm going to make a quick little adjustment. Sorry about that. This is my first time doing this. This is kind of me getting all the kinks out. We're learning as we go here. As we do this Tyler Higbee out of 199. To be completely honest, I did have some blaster boxes of Panini Contenders Draft Picks 2020. Was planning on doing a video, was recording it, and I was just so new at this, making so many mistakes, I decided that we would kind of scrap that one and just kind of start again. And here we are doing it and having a great time. So I will kind of get these boys out the way. We will stick Mr. Riggins here. Or excuse me, Riggins. Out the way. Justin Herbert, so that's the base rookie for the rip. Ooh, hey. Sneaking out a little early, but we will get to him. Is a Hunter Bryant. I don't think these minis are numbered. They're not, but they're still so cool. Jermichael Hasty. That almost looks like Jermichael Nasty, though. That'd be cool. His nickname should be Nasty. That's a good football name. Stick him in the cool football name pile. So. George Kittle. Len Dawson. Wow, yeah. See, I do, that's the thing I like, is they have guys going way back into, geez, Len Dawson played in the 60s. And, it's just cool to kind of look back and, especially if you're doing this with the kids, learn about guys that have played throughout the years, and especially if that's from a team that you follow or collect. It's kind of a great way to get kids acquainted with a little football history. So that's why they call it legacy. But for me personally, I primarily like collecting rookie cards. And Buccaneers. Peyton Manning out at $2.99. Pretty cool. Stick him over there. Always love Peyton Manning. His dad right behind him. That's cool. Peyton Manning, Archie Manning right there. I was kind of expecting Eli to be hiding right behind him. Guess the whole family can't be in the same pack. So. C.J. Henderson. Again, don't think those are numbered, but You stick him kind of a normal spot. Adrian Peterson. Michael Pittman Jr., son of Michael Pittman, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer running back. I believe he was the running back the year we won the Super Bowl. And I'm really looking forward to Michael Pittman playing with the Colts. He is actually somebody who I might kind of PC just because of his dad. But always enjoy following rookies, seeing how they pan out. I do think he's a very talented player. He should do just fine. Especially having a guy like Phillip Rivers with your quarterback. Here's a little numbered card. What do we got going on here? Fan favorites, 49ers, 10 out of 50. Sorry, get that on. Again, new at this. I think I need to do a much better job. Oh, Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, some would say kind of a controversial figure. I would just say, heck of a football player, smart guy, always somebody whose opinion I don't mind listening to, even if I don't agree with it. Well, that is the first box of Legacy. And what a box it was, man. I was not expecting to have nearly that much success. We will do kind of a quick recap here. Obviously, the Henry Ruggs III, 5 out of 10. Autograph, pretty sweet. The Justin Herbert rookie card, 6 out of 50, but it's a rip, and we are definitely going to rip this bad boy. You know, I heard some of those can go for quite a bit on the secondary market, but I am not here to make money. I am here to have fun, and what better way to celebrate our first rip than a rip? This John Riggins out of 50 mini. Minis are pretty cool. That's kind of why I bought this product. Tyler Higbee out of 199. Again, the Chase Claypool out of 10. So we got 2 out of 10s in the same box. Right, it's kind of in the shadow. Tre'Davious White out of 100, and we like that name. Probably my favorite name we've come across football-wise in this box. CeeDee Lamb, rookie card, out of 50. Tyler Johnson, Keyshawn Vaughn, some Bucks, and then I don't know why he ended up in that pile. Sorry, guy. Probably should have just ended up with the rest. But yes, what a fun first box. I am going to, oh yeah, and again, sorry, Richard Sherman out of 50, fan favorite. And this Peyton Manning, I believe he was out of 299. He was. So we will get those sleeved up real quick and put into the fun pile. But, yeah, what a great first box, Legacy. Definitely worth the 4th of July trip to the local card store. And had a pretty good price on it for a sale, so I was not hesitant to buy 2 boxes. So we will get those out of the way. Get these put up. I'm going to keep our rip card on camera, and we will deal with him at the very end. I don't know why I sleeved him up if we were just going to rip him anyway, but I guess because I am kind of clumsy and might fumble him around. Don't want to ding him up in the meantime. Sorry, didn't mean to move that box off camera. Using my work tool to get this box. Hopefully this box I can do a better job of keeping the poles on camera, guys. Like that is something. And again, I do have at least one rip coming up here in the near future that I kind of planned, so that's kind of why I wanted to get some practice in. Might talk about that at the end of the video. Might keep it a surprise. We'll see. Get my Legacy box out the way. Excuse me, I'm going to grab some water too. Not used to yakking so much. Maybe you guys would appreciate a little more quiet downtime while I pull open packs. You guys would have to let me know. If not, I do kind of feel like it is my job to at least keep talking keep y'all mildly entertained while I do the boring stuff. One thing. So, like I said earlier, I did have a initial break planned. It was just some blaster boxes of Contenders draft picks. I fumbled my way through that recording so poorly, it's just never going to see the light of day. But one of the things I was making a mistake of is just stacking the cards in the right direction. You know, I've been watching some of these guys on YouTube do their breaks and rips, and they make it look so easy. But when I got kind of halfway through box number 2, I realized that I, had just kind of glossed over some pretty basic stuff that is important on making sure your YouTube video goes kind of smoothly. And that is kind of one of the things I'm just trying to keep in mind right now in order to make my job easier. Because right now I'm just recording on an iPhone in a card holder. So we would like to kind of upgrade and have a little setup in the future. But right now we are just kind of using the bare bones skeleton crew style. But yeah, like I said earlier, primarily this is just for me having fun, documenting the stuff I get along the way, like this awesome rip card, this cool Henry Ruggs autograph. And who knows, one day I'd like to build, a little group of subscribers, and I would not mind investing some money and doing some breaks for people, but really, I think the most important part is just getting back in the hobby and having fun. Because one thing I primarily do is I collect football, and well, when I was a kid I collected basketball price points. Because they are right now, we might be doing other stuff, but I'm not the biggest baseball fan, and I understand a lot of the hobby is still centered around baseball cards. Baseball is something it's the one sport I did not actually play growing up, so it is not something I've really gravitated to until recently as I've gotten older and just kind of enjoyed having a more laid-back sport or hobby like baseball to watch. I've gone to some local minor league games. Our local minor league team, the San Antonio Missions, unfortunately not playing this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. Oh, excuse me. But started going to some games with my dad. We enjoyed it, and then we decided kind of, I think in 2017, we might start going to some games for the closest professional major league team, which would be the Houston Astros. As we all know, they would win a World Series in, I believe it was 2018, and then become the most scandalous cheaters of the sports world in 2019 and 2020. So kind of weird to kind of dip my toes into baseball and have a classic baseball scandal pop up right on me. So it's not something I really plan on collecting too much, but if I gained a group of followers that wanted to see baseball cards, I would certainly start ripping them. One guy I do kind of want to start collecting, though, is Yordan Alvarez for the Astros. If anything, just because he has probably the coolest signature I've seen from an athlete. His signature reminds me so much of the way Tolkien had Elvish written in The Lord of the Rings. If you guys have read the books or have seen the movies especially, you guys might have seen the way that the lettering on the ring looked, and I just think it looks just like Yordan Alvarez writing now, so I wouldn't mind having a PC of him. But without further ado, let's get back into football and box number 2. Again, trying not, excuse me, sorry for the burp. Trying not to reveal anything too cool. Mike Evans, he a buck. Really, one of the, again, few lone spots from the last couple years has just been watching our receivers catch all sorts of errant footballs. Here's a Miles Sanders out of 50. Man, out of 50 seems to be the play of the day. Is that number 2? That is number 2 out of 50. So second off the line, pretty cool. We will kind of get him stacked off over here. Keep him in the Randall Cunningham. He is, you know, I was actually born in Houston, even though I live in San Antonio now, and I believe he was the quarterback when the Oilers were still there. Oh, you know, I'm thinking of Warren Moon. He's the one that I kind of grew up first watching. Randall Cunningham, he was a backup for the Dallas Cowboys at the end of his career, I believe in 99 and 2000. That's why I remember him in the Texas Association. So mine's a bit rusty, but it is chock full of useless sports knowledge, trust me. Henry Ruggs III, base rookie card. Not as cool as out of 10, but hey, we got one of those. Derwin James. Kind of get moving through these guys. Zadarius Smith, another cool football name. Sorry if you guys just heard my dog making noise. He is napping in the background. Got a big old pit bull named Red. And I just ran my hand on the back of this stack, and it seems like we might have, we at least got a patch. I don't know if it's an RPA, so we will kind of approach that with caution. Who knows what we could possibly have back there. Brandon River. One thing I feel like I could also work on, in addition to keeping these cards in line, is just getting some better lighting. Again, we are just on an iPhone in my living room. So lighting is something that I will have to improve here in the future, guys. But again, if there's any advice that anybody has out there that is constructive, should I say, feel free to get at me and let me know. Always looking and learning. So would love to improve what we're doing here. There's Kelsey. And I believe here we are. Use Aaron Donald to kind of, it's going to need to be, nope, end of the card. JK. Just kidding, don't know who it is. J.K. Dobbins out of 99. There we go. Ooh, look at that patch. That's pretty sweet. Ohio State dual patch looking with the autograph, RPA. So anybody out there, J.K. Dobbins, that's a pretty sweet card. I don't think I've got a mag, or not a mag, but a card protector that's big enough for that thick one right there. I might not be able to even penny sleeve this right now. These penny sleeves are a bit small. So all in all, for a pickup from the local card shop, woo, you know, I'm gonna just wait. Bring this back in. I'll do that off camera later. Making a mess over here with my stacks. Making all sorts of rookie mistakes. But guess what? J.K. Dobbins won't be making rookie mistakes next year. And we'll have a vested interest in rooting for him. So, again, you know, that's kind of why I bought this product. 2 boxes ran me on sale. There's a Joe Burrow. Not going to really get into the price, but needless to say, it was not a bad deal for knowing what kind of product they're putting out. Just kind of what thought they're having. And again, I really think this is kind of best designed for maybe, you know, parents and kids that are doing it together. Kind of got something a little bit for everybody. And, you know, just looking at the price of collecting today, it certainly seems like a more consumer-friendly product. So it's kind of why we wanted to start here. Mark Andrews out of $2.99. Ooh, number 9. So we're kind of getting a lot of lows in terms of even the higher numbered cards. Really kind of digging that. There's Warren Moon of the Houston Oilers. We were talking about him. I thought Randall Cunningham was he. I got a little confused there. But yeah, Warren Moon. He's really kind of the first quarterback I remember watching of a team that I grew up near. But yeah. Tua. So we got a Joe Burrow and a Tua base rookie in the same box. That's pretty cool. obviously these are the two quarterbacks that are going to kind of be the flagship of 2020. We'll see how they do. I kind of believe both of them should do well, although, you know, I've heard a lot, especially a guy, Ryan Russillo is a guy I respect a lot. He talks about just, you know, in terms of having high-end draft picks at the quarterback position work out, it's almost a 50-50. But I think Joe Burrow in Cincinnati and Tua in Miami will both have the opportunity to do well. And I look forward to both of them kind of starting their careers this season. Hopefully we have a season. Latest we got was kind of the half the preseason getting canceled here not too long ago. And, you know, I think they're kind of planning on just kind of reducing the amount of staff they need around for the amount of time they need them. And we got a mini coming up. I just don't want them to fall out. So it'll be interesting to see how we approach the year, how things shape up. But I am hopeful because I do love sports. So here is our mini trying to fall out on me. Preston Williams out of 100. There you go, kind of towards the end of the run, 98. So we will keep him in our numbered pile. Might not be doing a good job of getting the cards off camera, but I'm doing a surprisingly good job of keeping these stacks off camera because they are just right there, but out of picture. So J.K. Dobbins base to go with our rookie patch auto. So that's pretty cool. I'll go ahead and put him in the rookies I plan on bagging up. Get this filler card out of here. Barry Sanders, got him card earlier. Again, I just said, I think it was the Madden 20th anniversary. They featured Barry Sanders, and I'm not a very big Madden player. That is one of the last Maddens I probably played. But he was just like driving a car down an open lane. He was incredible. And, you know, that's exactly how he ran in real life. You go back and watch Barry Sanders. Nobody was tackling him. He's just one of those guys who retired a little earlier than people thought, so he might not get kind of the credit in terms of when people talking all-time greats. I feel like people just kind of pass right by Barry Sanders, but in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, to do it. So again, it's kind of why I like these products, because you look at another one, Joe Green, legend, you just kind of come across folks, especially if you're collecting with younger kids, they're not going to be familiar with, so you can kind of sit down and teach them. Teach them a story about Barry Sanders or Mean Joe Green. There's Kyler Murray. Look forward to watching him next year. So everybody always talks about the second year, the sophomore slump coming with quarterbacks. I think Kyler Murray's a pretty talented guy, but the NFL it's a tough place, man. It is a tough place to play. So hopefully he will continue to grow as a player, especially with Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald is probably one of my favorite players to watch. He is, you know, as a matter of fact, somebody on Twitter the other day tweeted the question, what is your favorite, most random sports statistic you come across every time and enjoy it? And Field Yates, ESPN, tweeted out the fact that Larry Fitzgerald has more tackles at the number of 40 than he does dropped catches, 29 in his career. So you think about how long Larry Fitzgerald's played, especially with some of the quarterbacks he's played with, and he has only dropped 29 passes and stopped guys returning quite a few interceptions. This is probably our other autograph of the box, Grant Delpit from LSU. LSU, always a popular. Yes, I can feel the autograph. There we go. Don't remember where he went, but I know anybody on the LSU defense is a pretty talented football player. A lot of them get drafted pretty high, and he will probably have a solid start to his career. KJ Hamlin out of 150. Hamler. Sorry about that. Again, I try to get names right the first time. Some of these are just kind of hard to see in my lighting. Another KJ. these up and down, back and forth of these cards, pretty difficult. So, hey, Grant Delpit, the Grant Delpit pack. So that's out of 100 to go with our... Where did I just stick him? Sorry, I stuck him off camera. Couple of numbered... Oh, it's actually not numbered on the autographed portion. Is it not? Nope, not numbered, just autographed. But this is numbered, so guess we'll just kind of be invested on his start to his career. We'll just kind of stick those back in that, and then we will get to the last of our box. Box number 2. Another Michael Pittman Jr. rookie card. Got one earlier, I think in box number 1. And he is somebody I do look forward to watching play as a rookie this year. Might do a little PC of him because, again, his dad, former Buccaneers running back. And we like the Bucs around here. So, kind of mow through the rest of this. Get this filler out of here. Jonathan Taylor, seeing a lot of him. Tyler Johnson, again, he a Buck. Julian Edelman. Wonder what he's going to be able to do this year with Cam Newton now, or Cam Newton, excuse me. Jeez, hard to spit that out. Raheem Mostert out of 199. As we get to the end of the pack, I do just, since I brought it up after butchering his name, Cam Newton, I'm looking forward to him playing with the Patriots. I know there's been a lot of talk about him fitting in with whatever culture Bill Belichick has built up. But I really just think at the end of the day, if his ankle's right, if his shoulder's right, and if he can still play, Bill Belichick will be able to get the best out of him like he does most players that come into that locker room. So, quick recap again. Mostert out of 199. Really enjoy watching him play. I believe the Delpit out of 100. Delpit autograph right after that. We got a Hamler out of 150. Ooh, little Preston Williamson mini out of 100. Mark Andrews out of 299. And then Miles Sanders out of 50. Of course, the big hit of box number 2. Where should I stick those? We'll stick them right back here, off camera. The J.K. Dobbins rookie RPA, the pretty sweet Ohio State. It's kind of a drop it on the table out of 99. You know, there is a little bit of an issue here on that corner. That is actually a problem. We will get into this right now with what I have learned recently in the card collecting community with, yeah, that's bad. That's actually bad. Still excited about it, but with Panini and Topps being the only 2 big games in town, one thing I've seen is quality control of cards is kind of almost non-existent in some cases. I've seen a lot of, and this is just in the last couple months as I've been researching. Stuff has just been insane. I've seen a lot of silly stuff, and when you limit the competition to just a few, you know, I know there's a pandemic going on and stuff like that, but again, that's just kind of an unfortunate event. That other is not great. But hey, it's a pretty sweet card. I've got another card that I got in another box, you know, just starting that I might send to Panini to have them correct, but I just don't know if it's worth it, honestly. We'll be researching that a bit more. But hey, to end on a good note, we are going to rip this bad boy, Justin Herbert rookie card. It's a rip out of 50. And this is honestly why I even wanted to buy this product. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's one rip card in a case, which is 12 boxes. So 2 boxes had a 1 in 6 chance of doing it. Roll of the dice, and we hit it. So just looking at the perforation on this bad boy, don't know the best way to approach. I don't want to bend the card Almost wish I could look up a YouTube video real quick on best ways to run this. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I might look up a YouTube video here real quick. You know what? No, there we go. It's gonna pop. We'll get it. I just didn't want to kind of have to be a little less gentle with it. Maybe get. There we go. Ta-da! Joe. Broadway Joe. Wow, look at that. A Broadway Joe Mini. Woo! Look at that shiny bad boy. Broadway Joe. Not numbered, but it came from a RIP card, and it is a sweet one. So that is a pretty good way to end my first video. Honestly, don't expect very many people to ever see this video because it's the first one we're doing. But I'm going to start getting the word out. I do have some fun stuff planned. Again, big football collector. Love basketball, might not be collecting it too much off the bat, but I am a big soccer fan, and I really enjoy watching MMA. So in the future, I do have a soccer break planned coming up, and I am putting together a little something for my birthday here next month that I might shine some light on later, but again, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been 46 minutes. I really appreciate anybody who is going to sit down and watch any of this, but I had a great time. I look forward to doing this again in the future. My name is Tommy. Thanks for tuning in to the very first video on my channel, and I hope y'all have a very good 4th of July. So.